Well, good evening, everyone. Great to see everybody here. Thanks for stopping in, and welcome to Sidetrack Sunday number 1 for March 2021. Let's see who we have here. We got a bunch of people in already. Chris from Go Beer Go Home, great to see you. Good to see you. Brian from Inked Rails. Tyler from Lackawanna Rail Fan. Bang Got You Junction, Carl Braun. Marty from M&M Short Lines. Greg from Midsummer Railway N-Scale. Frank, Steeler Fan 821. Looks like he was causing problems already with the N-Scalers. Jerry Satz is here. Hey, Jerry. Let's see, who else do we have? Santa Fe Bob, good to see you. Ralph Greenwood, glad you could make it. Let's see who else we have here. Dwight Curley, good to see you. Rick Bailey's here. Heath from Humanity Junction. There's two of the Sidetrack Sunday guys. Roy Eltham's here. Good to see you, Roy. Let's see. Who else am I missing here? Anthony Dodge. Thanks for stopping in, Anthony. Rick Bailey's here. I may have said hello to you, Rick. If I did, sorry. If not, hello. Train Freak, Jason. Good to see you here. My Life's Tracks. So that's three of the my Sidetrack Sunday partners here. Steve, 87th PSAP. Highball and Hogger. Hey, Dale, great to see you. Bill from New Fenris Railroad. Catnuts at Southern Yankee Railroad. Sparky 107-107. Great to see you, Sparky. Let's see, who else do we have? Tim from CP368. Cameron, Caboose 121. Good to see you guys. Let's see. Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt. Great to see you. Let's see, who else do we have here? Ray Boble. I think that pretty much completes the Sidetrack Sunday guys. Great to see you guys here. Carolina Foothills Railroad, Dean Knight. Try Goggling, Pappy, good to see you here. Joe Rader, Black Rock Central Railroad, glad you could make it. Darren from B&H Railroad, good to see you, Darren. Steve Childers is here. Nathan DeLay, hey Nathan. Let's see. Well, I think I got everybody. I hope so. Oh, Mark Santola's here. Hello, Mark. I think I got everybody. I hope so. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Here's Wimble Train popping in. How you doing, Wimble Train? N-Scale. I think sometimes I might be a glutton for punishment, but we're going to blame this one on Heath, just like everything else. Let's see. Brian's from Inked Rails. Do I prefer kit building or doing freelance building? Oh, freelance, absolutely. I prefer scratch building. I have very few kits, and the ones that I do have would be more along the craftsman kits or something unique. But no, I prefer to design and build my own kits. Closet Branch, hey, Dots, good to see you. Brian Page, great to see you. And here's Cousin Vinny. Hey, Cuz, how you doing tonight? Art from PDR Engineer. Let's see. Okay, so what is this all about with the N-Scale? Actually, before I get into that, I want to play a little clip I made here of the locomotive and the gondola that I won from Vinny. When I filmed the opening, the mail call, I did it up here in my studio, and really for the overhead shots, that's much better at my workbench. So I reshot this clip from the workbench And I'll play this for you here because it gives you a much better view of these really awesome cars. Rusty from Possum Bayou, great to see you. Paulville, Grovemont, and New Jersey Railroad, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. All right, so let me, hey, there's JD. Good to see you, JD. All right, let me figure out where I put this here. I forget where I put it. Just give me a second. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. Okay, so here gives you a much better view of the C630. The detail on this really impresses me. Hey, Manny, good to see you. As you can see here, the railings, they're all separately applied, and they are so fine. This just really surprised me. The last time I really looked at an N-scale loco was in the 80s, and it was nothing like this. Here's the detail of the trucks, which is real impressive. The springs, all the rivet detail. The ladders they're not grossly thick like they used to be. This front really impresses me. Just look at the chain detail on that railing. That's pretty impressive. I really can't wait to get this on my layout and see these lights light up and hear the sounds from this. Here's the back, which is equally impressive, and just the top detail, all the hinges, the bolts, the lift rings, everything, the grates. It's just, I am really taken back by this. This is not at all what I was expecting. Let's see if I missed anybody who popped in. I don't think so. Hey, there's John 2618. Good to see you, John. Now here's the gun. I did check all the printing with the magnifying glass. Some of it I almost needed a microscope for. But it's all real crisp and clear and readable. This underbody detail is really impressive. All the brake lines, the air cylinders and everything. Brian wants to know if I could have any locomotive in any scale, what would it be? Man, Brian, that is such a tough question. I think it would have to be, and I've only ever seen these made in brass, and it was many years ago when I saw them, was the Brill Bullet Train, which was an iconic train on the Philadelphia and Western interurban line that I'm modeling, and it ran through my town, and I would just love to find one. And Jerry Satz has helped me out with some plans for one, and I think I'm going to end up scratch building one. I'm going to try it out of brass. Heath from Humanity Junction. The locomotive is Atlas. It's the Atlas Masterline Gold Series, which is DCC equipped and equipped with ESU Loc Sound, which I'm really dying to hear. The gondola is Atlas. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Okay. Steve 87th would want a 1-to-1 scale SW 1500. Well, yeah, I wouldn't turn it down, except I wouldn't have any place to put it, Steve. Crazy Joe, hello, good to see you. And there's Uncle Wilmer. Good to see you, Uncle Wilmer. Okay, so now what am I doing with N-scale? Actually, this is something that that I've wanted to do for years, and that's set up a Christmas layout. I chose to go N scale just because, that's the logical choice. I can do something a lot better than a loop around the Christmas tree without taking up my entire living room. The problem was I always thought about this right around the middle of December. And without having any of the N-scale track or locos or anything, I'd have been rushing around and throwing this together on Christmas Eve and tearing it down a week later, and that's not really what I wanted to do. So every year I just kept saying to myself, well, next year. Well, next year was the same story, of course. Nathan says, have I been to the Reading Railroad Museum? He used to be a volunteer there. No, Nathan, I've never been there. And JD wants a 1-to-1, 163-ton, 3-truck Shay. Yeah, that would be cool, JD. So anyhow, each year it was the same story. I would think about it too late and tell myself next year. And I even took to writing myself notes, and I would look at the note too late. So this year, in yeah, you're right, Brian. Make sure the train doesn't disappear into the snow. You're absolutely right. So this year in November, my buddy Craig, who entertained us for the opening act tonight. Yeah, Wilmer, the dark side, but it's only part time. My main layout is staying HO, Wilmer. I assure you. Anyhow, Craig decided that he was going to put up a tabletop Christmas tree in his studio and run a loop of his trains around them for Christmas. So I got the bug again. Well, this time I got it a little bit earlier. And I was looking around, and I was really close to picking up an N-scale starter set. But I talked myself out of that. The reason I talked myself out of that is I want DCC because I wanted to run. I wanted to be able to program something a little bit better than just a loop going around a Christmas tree. So I decided. So I ended up. The other reason I talked myself out of doing it, in time for this Christmas, is the storage in this house is pathetic. There's really no place for me to take down a Christmas layout and store it someplace. I was designing the layout to be modular so that I could break it down into small enough pieces. But there were still, other than taking up my closets, which I have very few, there was no place to put it. The only option would have been the attic, which is far from convenient. It's a ladder climb up to, and it gets to be about 150 degrees up there in the summer. So this thing would just be suffering, and it would probably be nice the first year, and I'd be fighting with it every year since then. So I decided that it's actually not going to be just a Christmas layout. It's going to stay up year round. I'm going to. It's going to be a snow scene, and I have some ideas on dressing it up for Christmas when the season gets here. So it still will be a Christmas layout, but it'll be up year round, and I can just sit in my living room and turn it on and have it run for me. And there's not going to be any switching. It's just going to be trains running. But like I said, it's going to be DCC, and I'm going to have several routes programmed, so it'll be a little bit more interesting than, like I said, than just a loop. Andy Ambrose, how are you? Good to see you. Not know if anybody else snuck in that I haven't seen yet. Let's see. Okay, so I have. Let's see. Brian from Inked Rails. Have I considered just having a small N scale layout just around the Christmas tree? Yeah, Brian, I had considered that, but I'm never going to be happy with that. I don't know if you ever heard the story of my father's layout that he would set up every Christmas that was 3 levels high, took up about 4x8 pieces of plywood on the first level, and was just an elaborate, massive layout that he would start building November 1st every year and have it up and running in time for Thanksgiving. And that was all because his father put up a loop around the Christmas tree, and he had to outdo his father. So I'm not going to say I'm quite that petty, but because I'm not going to outdo my father's Christmas layout, but I could never live with a loop. So, and actually, if I'm going to be completely honest, this is a really good excuse to not put it away and have it up all year round. So it's kind of interesting that, let's see, Nathan says, have I seen any Reading T1s besides the one at Steamtown? No, Nathan, I haven't. I've seen the one at Steamtown, but no, that's the only place. Sparky Cato track can get together and then after Christmas back into a shoebox. That's true, but now I'm talking about the scenery, the buildings. I mean, I want. What I enjoy most about all this, I love watching the trains run, but I love watching them run through the scenery. So without being able to scenic the layout, it just wouldn't be the same for me. So, and it would be something that I would end up not putting up year after year. So, this I think is going to be the best solution, at least for me. So it's kind of interesting that I won this loco from the Cuz. Normally, I would have just stuck to what I know and worked with an Eastern Railroad. I was thinking maybe the Lehigh Valley or Erie Lackawanna, something like that. I was also toying with the Denver Rio Grande, but then I would want to build all the mountains and tunnels, and this is too small of a layout for me to be able to do justice to that. So this loco is from the Duluth, Mesabi, and Iron Range, which is, of course, a Midwestern railroad. I've heard of it, but I didn't really know anything about it. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do something, entirely different than I've ever done before. My first layout was based on the same prototypes, the same area as this layout. So this way I learned something new about a different railroad in a different area. So I started to do a little research, and what I was hoping for was a ski area, since this is going to be a snow scene, basically a snow layout, which is something I really always wanted to model, but I never wanted it on my main layout. And I thought, a ski resort or just a piece of a ski resort would be fun to do. So when I started looking into the DMIR and where they ran, the area that they ran through is known for snowmobiles, with snowmobile resorts and snowmobile paths. Let's see, Carolina Foothills. You and me think alike, Schuylkill. That's what happened to my Christmas layout. Yep. If I'm not going to go in all the way, I'm not going to do it. So anyhow, the area is known for snowmobiles and snowmobile paths and resorts. So I figured that would be interesting. Yes, Tim, iron ore is definitely what the DMIR is, So I'm definitely going to be looking for some ore cars and that sort of thing. But at this point, I was talking about the area that it's going to be running through. Sparky said, "Did I start the layout yet, or is there still time to come to your senses?" Well, I have some of the cars here, Sparky, so it's might be a little bit late. Hey, Dwayne, how are you? No, I haven't started the layout yet. I've been waiting for the snow to melt out of the bed of my truck so I could go pick up some lumber, which it finally did today. So I should be starting real soon. Let's see. Dad says I should think reverse, make an entire living N scale layout, and put 1/60th scale Christmas tree on it. I do have some interesting ideas. That's for what I'm going to do with Christmas. There's going to be an N scale tree. There's going to be some decorations. I've been working on some plans for that, which of course I'll be videoing and sharing with everybody. Let's see. Nathan says the place we grew up did give you inspiration for your layout. Oh, absolutely, Nathan. For my main layout, it's all about the towns that I grew up in and the railroads that I knew and the tracks that I played on and that sort of thing. So let's see. And Crazy Joe says, "Yep, I can always paint the cars if I change my mind." That's right. So let me show you the track plan, and I will talk through this a little bit. So here's the track plan. This is just it doesn't show any terrain other than the river that's going to be running through it. Like I said, I'm doing everything a little bit different with this layout than I've ever done before. Brian wants to know if we're going to be seeing Rick the Tree all year round. Yeah, Brian, but he's going to be covered in snow. And no, Vinny, sorry, my main layout is the HO scale one. Sorry to break your heart there, cuz. But hey, at least I'm doing the N scale. So anyhow, this layout is, there's going to be no grades on it at all. I always did manage to work some grades into my layouts. And Jerry, yes, I will be keeping this up all year round. Nathan, the cameras when I was a kid were actually pretty pathetic. They were very big and bulky. And no, I don't have very many pictures at all from that time simply because of that. So there's going to be actually, yes, there'll be some reverse loops on here. That was intentional. I want the trains to be able to reverse directions. Just for interest. So like I said, this is all going to be the track is all going to be level. It's all going to be flat. There's no grades whatsoever. There'll be 4 bridges, as you can see, which all go across the river. At the top of the screen, where the river is, right up in. Where the river comes in out of the top of the image you're seeing, that will be a small waterfall. I'm having several crossings, which I never had on any of my railroads, simply because the area that I modeled, there really weren't any. So I'm having a double crossover right there that you can see in the center. At the top, up near where the waterfall will be, is another crossing, and the third one is over in the top left-hand corner. That track in the top right-hand corner does connect. It just didn't make it onto this picture somehow, but it really does connect. And down here in the at the very bottom of the image that you're seeing is that will be a double slip switch, although I may end up custom making that. So what the terrain is going to look like. Let's see if I miss anybody here. Nope, looks like yes, Jerry, 3 crossovers. Three. Well, actually 4. There's 2. One in the upper right, one in the upper left, and then a double one in the center. Everything else down at the very bottom is also, I guess, a crossing, but it's also a double slip switch on the bottom. Yes, Heath, that's correct. I may end up. Yeah, the middle bridge over the river will be one double track bridge. Does anyone make the center double crossover? Not that I found, Jerry. I'm going to have to modify a couple 90-degree crossings to put that together. Tyler, is this going to be up by this coming Christmas? It better be. No, I'm definitely planning for it to be. I should be starting on the framework this week. Like I said, my truck finally, all the snow's out of the bed of my truck, so I can go out and get some lumber and stuff. And it's not going to be that big, so it's something that I'll be able to build pretty quickly. No, Sparky, I'm not using Digitrax. It will be DCC++, probably DCC++ EX, but I haven't really experimented with that one yet. Split Rock 323, good to see you. So no, I definitely haven't gone off the deep end completely, Sparky. I wouldn't want you to stop watching my channel. So what the terrain is going to look like here is the image that you're seeing in the upper right-hand corner. That's going to be the main snowmobile resort. The dash track will all be tunnels, and the snowmobile trails will come down over them. And I'm planning a little resort area at the bottom that goes with a snowmobile resort, of course. Freddie Model Railroad, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Excuse me. The upper left-hand corner. Dave P., great to see you. Thanks for stopping in, man. The upper left-hand corner will also be raised terrain. It will actually be a little bit higher than the snowmobile. Excuse me. Than the snowmobile paths, and only the outside track will be in a tunnel. There'll be cuts for the double track the inner circles of the double track there. And that area will all be residential primarily. There'll be probably a few businesses. It'll be a little town. Now John has 2 strikes against me. What's that? Because I'm not using Digitrax, cuz? So that's going to be mostly residential. Like I said, small business area. The background will be some building flats, which will be more of not a city scene, but more of a town scene. David, I hope I say this right. Lamoro, it's great to see you. Glad you could stop in. If I did mispronounce that, David, I'm really sorry. So the size of it is it started out to be 32 by 60, which would have fit, really nicely where I wanted it to be. But I really wasn't happy with that, so it ended up being 32 by, not 32, 30. It was 30 by 60. It ended up now being 30 by 72, which only means I have to move a little bit of furniture around. But it'll work, and it'll still stay there. So, but I'll get, a good bit more railroading in. So what let's see, John, I think we should do a YouTube meet and greet at Schuylkill Haven at Borough Day for somewhere in October if they have it. Oh, that's interesting, Nathan. That would be fun to do. Yeah, if it's open. I really hope by October things are open. Let's see. Nothing wrong with Digitrax, just worry about crossing over to not electrically connected controller, not connected electrically. Okay. I must have missed something there. Let's see. Sparky, I have Digitrax run HOO and N scale. So what am I? You're definitely a unique case there, Tyler. Yes, Heath. It really is. I mean, I can't imagine building in an area that and the amount of space that you have to work in. I really can. That kind of impresses me. Because I did think of a hollow core door, but the cost of hollow core doors right now are ridiculous. It would be, to get a hollow core door would be about $60 or $70. And I can build it out of 1x4s and foam a whole lot cheaper. I did look around for a source for damaged doors, but I haven't had much luck with that. That's actually what I was hoping to find. So like I said, I do have some plans for adding some Christmas effects. There'll be a lighted Christmas tree in the town square, and some Christmas themed animation that I have planned that I still have to work out, but I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to get there. As far as exactly what's going to go on the layout, exactly what's going to go on the layout, I really don't know. About the only thing I'm sure of is Lulu's Trackside Diner. I don't think she's purchased the ground yet, but Lulu's planning on opening Lulu's 2 somewhere here on my layout, and of course it'll have to be trackside. Hey John, do you have an IKEA near you? They actually have some cheaper tabletops like that. Actually, no. The nearest IKEA to me is probably about 40 or 50 miles away. I mean, it's not ridiculous, but I don't really get down there for any other reason, so I can't see myself running down there just for a tabletop. But that's an interesting thought. I didn't really think of that. Let's see. Am I going to have animated Christmas lights on the layout? Yes, I do plan on it, Brian. I plan on several animations. I plan on with that Christmas. Let me switch back to the track plan. In the inner loop on the right hand side, the hill slopes down towards the double crossing, and that's where the little town center is going to be, and that's where the lighted Christmas tree is going to be. I'm planning on doing that with fiber optics and LEDs. John, Mystic Southern Railroad, great to see you. Yeah, I think Lulu needs to open one up here because I'm gonna need. It's cold up there in Minnesota. I'm gonna need some good coffee. Let's see. Chris, they have Swedish meatballs too. Okay. Well, actually, what I have planned, Dwight, will be an N-scale Christmas tree. I'm planning several other animated displays. Probably one of the low relief buildings in the back will be either a bank or a hospital, and we'll have a moving lighted display that will say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something along those lines. Maybe both. So Rick is going to be lit. Well, make sure he has a huge gold star on top. I don't know. I kind of think Rick was pretty lit during the Christmas special, Jason. Yeah, nice try, Sparky. That might work with Ray, but it's not going to work with me. And I'm also playing with a couple ideas on maybe some lighted reindeer or something like that on the snowmobile resort. Well, thank you, John. I'm happy with it. It should have had enough interest that when I program the routes in and the trains are able to change directions and go in different ways that'll keep me and any little kids that come to visit occupied. Trains always run around the tree. Absolutely. With that, that's why my Christmas tree is in that position, so they'll always be running around the tree. Is the shape of the river prototypical? I don't even know if the river's prototypical, John. I pretty much just wanted some bridges, and I love water scenes, so that's why there's a river there. Scale the tree to be size of the one in Rock Center in New York. I am planning on a large tree, yes. Nathan wants to know what got me interested in YouTube for the first time. When I decided to build my main layout, as I was getting the room ready, I started to look on YouTube for some inspiration. And frankly, I was really surprised because I expected to find, a couple model railroading channels, nowhere near the number that exists. And it was just seeing everybody else's channels, and the fact that I didn't have a single picture for my first layout, I figured this would be the perfect way of documenting this, so I don't lose it. So I don't. So I'll always have at least a record of what I did. Chris from Go Home says he imagines a winter scene being harder than summer or fall. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it is, Chris, and that's why I want to do it. I've always wanted the challenge. The problem was I didn't want I didn't want my entire main layout to be winter, and I didn't want just a winter section. Yeah, you know what? It does look like the Schuylkill River in places, Cat Nuts. You're absolutely right. I guess I was subconsciously influenced by that because this river is supposedly in Minnesota. Let's see. Make sure that it isn't going around a sawmill. All right. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch that, Brian. Let's see. What is my favorite YouTube channel? That's near impossible to answer, Heath. The first guy that got me interested in the first real impressive YouTube channel I saw was Everard Junction. He's, for those of you who may not know him, he's got probably 50 or 60,000 subscribers, so there's a good chance you have seen him. He's a UK modeler, and he really does incredible work. And actually what got me hooked on his channel at first was he has a loft layout very similar to my attic, climb up the ladder to get to it. and he was completely ripped down his. Uh, Jerry, I did say Minnesota, and that's not what I meant. I meant Wisconsin. Sorry, I don't know what made me say Minnesota. Anyhow, he was just lugging up all these pieces of bench work up into his loft, and I just couldn't imagine having that kind of dedication. So that's really what got me interested in his channel. But he really does awesome work. Let's see, am I going to use flex paste for your snow or the woodland scenic snow? You know, Brian, I really haven't gotten that far to decide yet. I'm going to probably be experimenting with a few things and see what I like yeah, not Minnesota. I'm sorry, Tim. Thank you. You're absolutely right. I was right with Minnesota. It's Duluth, Minnesota. I don't know why I just said Wisconsin. It's been a long week, guys. I'm sorry. You thought I was going to mention a cooking channel, huh? You know, I don't think that I've ever watched a cooking video on YouTube. Yeah, I'm quite sure there are some, but I've never, don't think I've ever seen one. Have I dealt with N-scale couplers and that didn't dissuade you? John, no, I have not dealt with them yet, and that's something I'm definitely not looking forward to. I did pick up just to play with a little bit. I picked up a small pack of Bachmann Easy Track in N-scale. And the size of the rail joiners is a little scary. So I'm really not looking forward to the couplers. Yeah, Tyler, you're right. I've seen Vinny's cooking videos. They always make me hungry. And right, Greg, Lakeside and Chadwick are also excellent channels. So is New Junction. And one of my favorite UK channels is Galgorm Hall. Paul is an excellent scratch builder, and he's another guy that's working up in his loft, so he can't be up there when it's cold or too hot. But those guys are dedicated. That's I can't imagine building a layout in my attic. The best cooking channels are them Cajuns. Well, you know what? I that wouldn't bother me. I do like some spicy food. As long as we're not talking about cooking gators, I'm pretty good with that. Well, yeah, these, thankfully, both the Loco that I won and the Gondola had truck-mounted couplers, microtrains couplers installed. So I don't have to worry about it with these two pieces anyhow. Let's see. I've heard the zip ties are good for couplers. Yeah, they'll keep the trains together, I'm sure. And Heath, I certainly have mentioned all of the STS crew. Even you, I think. If I didn't mention you, I'm sorry. But yeah, I said hello to Jason, and Ray was here, I think. And Rick was here. Sorry if I missed you, Heath. What time do we have here? Okay, 1:15. Sean McGee, good to see you. Tyler, you don't like spicy food? Oh, I love. I start every morning with some really spicy eggs. Oh, Nathan, I know what you're talking about Schuylkill County changing. I grew up in Montgomery County, and my office is still there. And when I go down there, it's getting to the point that I almost can't find my way around anymore. That's right, Jerry. You tell him. And Dale loves gator tail. Yeah, no thanks. You can keep the gators down there, Dale. Let's see. Ray's still here, sidetracked as usual. Okay. Oh well, absolutely. The problem okay, I get you now, Heath. The reason I didn't mention the STS guys because then I'd have to mention the CR guys, and we'd be here till tomorrow night. But absolutely, the rest of the STS gang, these are great guys. I'm happy to be part of this, and I think it was Brian from Inked Rails was commenting on that at the beginning of the show. So Brian, thanks again. We appreciate your support. But also the community roundhouse guys. These guys are all great. We're all good friends. They're great to work with. They were all big help for my mail call video. I wouldn't have been able to do that without them. So thanks, guys. And I know you're joking around, Heath. I'm just not letting you. Well, good night, Dwayne. It's great to see you. All right. Let's see. Anthony Dodge wants to be a shining beacon on how not to run a channel. Well, I don't know if you're doing too good at that, Anthony. You run a pretty successful one, and people seem to like it. Yeah, you know, that whole taste like chicken thing. Well, this is Sidetrack Sunday, so why not? A good friend of mine was a union electrician working in Center City, Philadelphia all his life. And he was working on a big hospital downtown. And right across the street was an exotic meat store. And whenever he would walk past, they had, wild boar in the window. They had a lion on a spit one time. And you could order any of this. Good night, cuz. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. They had all sorts of exotic food that you could have that you could order, and they would have people ordering lions and stuff like that. What do I believe will be the hardest thing to model on your new layout? I don't know, Brian. I don't really see any of the modeling as being hard. Some of it's a challenge, and some of it I do 2 or 3 times. But I don't know. I don't really think any of it's hard. It's just a matter of working it until I get it right. So anyhow, this guy was he was dying to go in there. He was very adventurous where food is concerned, where I am absolutely not. So he goes in there one time and he decided on a couple rattlesnake steaks. And I mean, these things were huge. They had to be 7 inches in diameter, and they were real thick. And of course, he showed them to me. Okay, Heath, the double crossover. Well, that's not going to be hard. It's probably going to be finicky. And since it's N scale, it's going to be real finicky. But I do have a magnifying visor, so I'll get it. So anyhow, a couple of days later, he cooked up his rattlesnake steaks, and these things at the time, and this we're talking about the 80s, they probably cost him like $9 or $10 a pound. So he called me up to tell me how good they were. And I said, well, what does rattlesnake taste like? He said, John, you're going to laugh, but it tastes just like chicken. And I said, great, you paid $10 a pound for that. And I had chicken last night. I paid 99 cents a pound for it. So, if it tastes like chicken, I'm just going to order chicken. Bailey trees are too tall for N scale. Well, like I said, Rick, I like a chainsaw, and trees can always get cut down, man. Let's see. Nathan wants to know, have I been to the Fairlane Mall? I've never been to the Fairlane Mall. I've heard of it, of course, but I never used it. No, Heath, I'm not using Cato Unitrack. I'm going to be using mostly Pico Flex Track, Pico turnouts, and I might have to to reach out to a couple other manufacturers because there's several that I don't think Pico makes. Like that double switch will probably I'll probably end up having to use some Atlas pieces in there or something. Randall, hello, great to see you. Rick Bailey, the longer the night goes, the more you sway in the wind. Well, folks, it's about 10 of. So if you guys have anything special coming up, contests or special videos coming up, please let us know. If you've got, let us know how many subscribers you got. Let us know what you're doing with your channel. Let's see. Rick Bailey, careful, you might get flogged. You know, that's you got a good point, JD. We haven't had a good flogging for a while. Let's see. I think the N-scale layout would be a good venture for you. I look forward to following along. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm sure nothing in N-scale is quite as forgiving as it is in HO scale. But I think it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. And being a smaller layout than my main layout is something that, you know, I'll be able to get done, or, you know, at least closer to being done a lot quicker than this one is. Rick sways depending on how much the trees drank that day. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. Long live N-scale, huh? All right. Well, I can't argue with you anymore, I guess. Ray's got a new video coming out tomorrow, a new addition to the layout. Very cool, Ray, and he's at 405 subs. Rusty's at 140. Jason, 564 with a contest at 600. And don't forget the meet and greet that Heath is putting together March 13th at Northlands in Flemington, New Jersey. That's Saturday, and it's runs from noon till about 2. So yeah, let's if you can make it, if you're in the area, it's about I guess about an hour and a half from Philly. I think it's an hour or so from New York City. I would love to be there, but unfortunately, family things have gotten in the way, so I won't be able to make it. Let's see, Pappy at Trigoglin. I think I missed you earlier. Hello, Pappy. If I did, I'm sorry. He's at 261 subs. Jerry's at 619, and he wants to hit 10K by the end of the week. Let's see, Ink Rails just posted his first how-to video, and he's too shy of 210 subs. I think I saw that, Brian. That was the scrap loads. And actually, it was really good. Let's see. Anthony Dodge has 817 subs. He's live every Friday. Baldy cartoons are included, and if I'm not mistaken, he's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Carolina Foothills is holding steady at 45 subs. Tim at 368 has 56, with some new CSX videos coming out. Andy Ambrose, unfortunately, the Queen Mary is not sailing, so he can't make Northlands. Well, sorry to hear that, Andy. Bill from New Fenders is at 220 subs, and nothing new because he's waiting to build a new shed. Well, I'm jealous, Bill. I'd love to be building a train shed. Steve PSAP's at 310. Nathan has 1,018, and this thing jumps so quick. And he's got a video coming out will be Northlands for Heath's YouTube meet and greet. Very cool, Nathan. Dwight's got a new mail call video on a contest he won. Wimbletrain has 247 subs. And Santa Fe Bob wants to know if someone say Ray would be flogged or logged. That's from the Closet Branch has a video for Jack Scratch Build coming up. Dwight's at 202 subs. Andy's at 2 subs, and we'll have a contest when he gets to 10,000. So everybody head over to Andy's channel and let's get him up there. Third Rail Thursday this Saturday, Third Rail Thursday this Thursday on Go Via or Go Home's channel. He's at 1,606 subs, and we'll do a big giveaway at 2,000. Let's see. Sean McGee's going to wave from the border. Okay. Wow. Somewhere, man, this thing jumps at times. Kind of lose track of where you are. Let's see. My Life's Tracks has 49 subs and hopes to have 50 by August when his channel is a year old. John, let's see. Trying to pick a day where I can start my first live stream. Well, cool, Brian. I'm looking forward to that. It can be tough to find a free spot, but just pick a time and go. People will be there. Good night, Sparky. Thanks for being here. Rodney, how are you? Glad you could make it. Yeah, Sparky, the shed thing is definitely catching on. I think about that every time I see one of your videos. Let's see. Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt has a new update out today. He's at 515 subs, and his 500 sub contest coming soon. Greg can't make Northlands either because the planes aren't flying out of Melbourne. And I guess it's kind of a long swim for you, Greg. Cameron from Caboose 121 has 407 subs. Roy Eltham's at 123, and he's thinking of a contest when he gets to 150 or 200. And Rodney's at 436. Good night, Dots. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Andy, some of those cameras do have quite a few buttons. Tyler from Lackawanna Railfan has 217 subs, and his contest is ending soon. So I'm guessing if you haven't already subbed, you better do that soon. Good night, Catnuts. Appreciate you being here. All right, everyone, I've had a really long week. This is a busy time of year for me. Rick did offer to cover for me tonight, but since he covered for me last week, I was a little afraid to let him cover for me tonight. I didn't want him to get too comfortable in the first Sunday spot. But no, actually, I wanted to chat about my N scale rabbit hole that I'm going down. Let's see. Brian from Ink Rails, you're right. We all say it, but the model railroading community is fantastic. That's, I started to make videos just really to document my my layout. I never even considered that I'd be sitting here doing a live stream, but the community is just great, and it's addicting. Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Rodney, Brian from Inked Rails is looking for a time when he can go live for his first live stream. Bob, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Let's see. JD, thank you. Appreciate you being here. And you too, John number 7 from Mystic Southern Railroad. Wimble Train, thank you. Glad you could make it tonight. All right, folks, I'm going to call tonight. It's thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. Like I said, it's been a long week, and I'm starting to get hoarse here. And the next week starts real early tomorrow morning. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Mark Santola, thank you very much. Good night to you, sir. First John spots, then take over the world, Rick. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, Sean. Brian, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve. And thanks everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Next week, Sidetrack Sunday will be Heath. But Heath is also planning on live streaming from Northlands. So be on the lookout for that. I'm sure he'll be having an announcement come up soon. And that should be a good time. If you can't make Northlands, at least you'll be able to hang out with Heath and the people that can make it. David, good night. Thank you for being here. Good night, Anthony. And let's see, Brian from Inked Rails. Go to Hot Rod Rodney 25's channel and go to the email address on his About page and talk to him about a time slot. There you go. Heath just also posted that too. So good night, Randall. Thank you for being here. All right, so everybody, thanks again. Like I said, next Sunday at 8 o'clock will be Heath at Humanity Junction Model Railroad. And the live stream should be Saturday sometime around noon to 2 Eastern. Hopefully he'll get a decent connection. Of course, you never do know. He will be in New Jersey, so that's always a toss of the coin. But hopefully he'll be able to get a good signal, and we'll be able to hang out with him even if he can't make it. So thanks again, everybody, and have a good night, and have a really great week. Appreciate you being here tonight.